Hi there, my name is Gab from Perfumes, and today we're going to be reviewing the top 13 fragrances that you have to get for 2025. These are all perfumes from the house of Aalam Al Zaafaran, specifically from their fragrance lines of Cranford and Artemios. Aalam Al Zaafaran is a house in the Middle East which uses the finest oils from France and obviously the best designs from the perfumes that they're trying to do. Perfumes and our partner Shopmixtrade is gonna be hosting a giveaway before the year ends. 10 perfumes will be given away to our lucky subscribers, so stay tuned and know the mechanics at the end of the video. The first one we're gonna try to review is Sauvage Eau de Parfum by Artemios. This is an amber fougere from the house of Artemios. The typical shower gel fragrance, fairly common, but it is popular for a reason, because the scent is really a good use for daily. You can use it for errands, you can use it for office, you can use it for working out. Presentation wise, you really can't get any better than this. Besides the non-magnetic cap, which the OG Dior Sauvage actually uses. This one is non-magnetic, but the atomizer, surprisingly, gets the pressurized atomizer that Dior is actually famous for the Sauvage. It's the same ombre pattern that the original Sauvage bottle. It fairly looks very similar despite the name itself. Performance-wise, I get about, on average, 5 to 6 hours when I'm using it for my errands. I can get away with at least 8 when I'm using it in a cold temperature room. And for the price point itself, this is around 1,100 or 1,1. This is a very good buy. I would say that this would be a good hybrid of Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette. So if you're looking for a Sauvage alternative, this would be your best bet. Next one that we're going to review is Adventus Intense by Artemios. This is a citrus aromatic fragrance from Artemios or Aalam Al Zaafaran. So presentation-wise, you really know what they're trying to get here. They're wanting to take Aventus Absolute down a peg. So there's a few alternatives out there, but this one is one of the easiest ones I can recommend so far. Presentation-wise, it has the same shape of the bottle of Aventus itself. The box itself looks pretty similar. The atomizer is pretty decent. It's also pressurized. And scent-wise, you really can't go wrong with this. The Aventus DNA is an easy recommendation for men or masculine-leaning fragrances. It's a blast of citruses. You get that woody smokiness. And if you're trying to get Aventus Absolute, this is pretty much a 9 out of 10 for me. For the price point, I think this one is at around 1,100 to 1,200. And if you're getting at that price, it's a really good steal. This would be really great on a hot summer day or on a casual errand, or you're going to the office. This is pretty much a safe scent to use for any occasion. Very versatile. I'm really recommending this one even as a first fragrance or even your signature one. The next one we're going to review is Spacecraft Extreme from Artemios. Presentation-wise, it looks very similar to the bottle. This reminds me of Fragrance World's take on the dupe bottle, where it pretty much looks the same. Scent-wise, this is literally a bomb of spices. So there's a lot of spices here playing to make that warm, spicy fragrance. And it's playing at being sweet, it's a bit fresh, it's a bit, let's say, aromatic. And it gets pretty much potent or cloying in a point if you don't use it correctly. So this one, I would only recommend using in a cold area. It's a pretty much polarizing perfume for a lot of people. But if you like this DNA, I would suggest getting this one. For the price point it's being offered at 1,100, this is pretty much a steal compared to getting the OG itself. Mileage may vary depending, but this one is a pretty good steal. Next is Sauvage Elixir, which is obviously a dupe of Sauvage Elixir. This is an aromatic fragrance by Artemios. This one, presentation-wise, is much of a good steal than most of the other fragrances in that line, because this is 100 ml. Sauvage Elixir is around 11,000 pesos or 15,000 pesos for a 60 ml bottle. This one is 1,100 for a 100 ml bottle, and this one is pretty potent. So presentation-wise, you already get the Sauvage Elixir bottle itself. The differences are the lines that make it prominent, but you get what you pay for. Scent-wise, this is candied licorice, a bit of woodiness. People might describe it as an oriental fragrance. This one is really strong. 2 to 4 sprays would do you for a good day. And this one is a very good pickup for Artemios. This is at least 95% close to the DNA. and the performance speaks for itself, going at least 8 to 10 hours. Orcs by Artemios, I can't really shut up about this one. This is one of my favorites. This one, presentation-wise, you really get the presentation of Roja of Elysium, so you know what it's trying to clone. And out of all the dupes, Middle Eastern clones that are trying to get Elysium, this is the one that performs the best. And this one has the heaviest cap, so cap is really nice. Atomizer, pretty decent, but where it really shines is the performance. So the OG itself doesn't really do well. It's maximized at 4 hours, other dupes even less. This one can stretch up to 6 to 8 hours even on a hot day. So this is a very herbaceous, fresh, woody fragrance. There's a lot of elements going through it, but what you really smell is what I would describe as a fresh, aromatic. You get a lot of the green elements here. So if you like blue plus green elements in a fragrance, this one is a good buy for 1,100 by Artemios. Next, we have a fragrance directly from Aalam Al Zaafaran itself. So this is directly from the house of Aalam Al Zaafaran. This is Hub Al Hayati Eau de Parfum. So this one is contentious. This one is a dupe of either YSL Parfum or YSL Elixir. It's somewhere, it lies in that DNA. Presentation-wise, this looks really premium. The bottle is very thick. The cap looks like a mushroom. It's a very ornate mushroom. Atomizer is also pressurized. It's a pretty good pressurized atomizer. Scent-wise, you get that Y DNA. You get the ginger, you get the fresh elements. It's a blue fragrance. It smells like you hopped out of the shower, but you also remove the cloying sweetness from the YEDP itself. So this one, if you're looking for an alternative of the Y-DNA, this one I get YEDT plus Y-Elixir. It's the same DNA, but if you get what I'm going to, this is fresh, this is blue. This smells like a guy that freshly hopped from the shower, very clean. Smells like a guy who has got it all together. This one is a dupe of Louis Vuitton's Imagination. This one hails from the house of Cranford's Le Privé collection. This is Daytona by Cranford. This is a very fresh, very citrus-heavy aromatic fragrance. It also has a lot of tea notes. So this one has the freshness and the backbone of tea and a bit of woodiness on the background. This one is priced at around 1,800 or 2,000. And it's really a very good take on Louis Vuitton's Imagination. There has been a lot of dupes recently. And this is the one that I don't get what they call the yellow candy / max yellow sweetness or citrusy vibe from, because this one is very prominent on the tea notes, which makes it a very well-balanced dupe. And presentation-wise, it doesn't really go after its predecessors by going after the bottle itself, but this one looks very nice. It reminds me of how Al Haramain's presentation of their Amber series goes. And this one is very reminiscent of that. But this one is pretty much a very good pickup for if you're trying to get Louis Vuitton's Imagination on a budget. And this is also a 100 ml bottle for at least 2,000 pesos. So I would recommend this one. Next, we have Amber Leather, not one of the best named ones from Artemios. This is a dupe of Ombre Leather from Tom Ford. This is an aromatic leather fragrance from Artemios. Scent-wise, I don't like leathery fragrances, but this one I have worn. I have full worn this one, and you get fruitiness, a bit of woodiness. There's a lot of leathery elements. So this one is a very heavy fragrance. This one is for a more mature, I guess, audience, or people who would wear this would be a bit more mature or a bit more dressed up. Presentation-wise, you get the same bottle that you would get from Tom Ford. Looks pretty much the same. This just doesn't have the leather furnishings. For the price point, this is also, like all of them, a steal. For a 100 ml bottle with a performance that stretches up to 8 hours, 1,200 is a pretty good deal for this one. Next, we have Taher, or a dupe of Perfumes de Marly Altair by Artemios. This is my absolute favorite. I don't like gourmands, but this one smells like a gingerbread. That's how I would describe it. This has mint, so it's a gourmand that you can wear even in a bit of a hot situation. This one is priced at around 1,300. This is a dupe of Perfumes de Marly Altair, which is around 10,000 plus. This reminds me of Nishane's Ani with that ginger, that vanilla, and that amber. And this one is the one I would recommend for people who's trying to get into niche perfumes but is trying it from a budget standpoint. This one is also pressurized, and the bottle itself looks like the bottle from Perfumes de Marly. So for its price point, one is a steal. Next is a fan favorite. This is Stranger With You exclusive. Presentation-wise, looks pretty similar with Stronger With You Intensely. And you know, it's what it's trying to do, even with the juice color. Only the cap is different. Atomizer is not pressurized, unfortunately. But this one, scent-wise, you get that toffee, that vanilla, the tonka bean, that lavender, and all that woody elements lying in the background. So if you're looking for a Stronger With You Intensely alternative, for 1,300, this one performs even better than the OG. This is a bit more loud. This is a lot less, what I would say is corn smelling than the original. And this one I would rock on a cold atmosphere, and I would rock this every single night if I had to. Next is Fabulous Life by Artemios. This is an 80 ml bottle. In the website, it says 85. This one is a dupe of Tom Ford's F-Fab. And this is a leather fruity fragrance, which actually I've used in a lot of scenarios. And this one, presentation-wise, you're getting a steal with this one. This is an 80 ml bottle for 1,100. And you're also getting the whole essence of it scent-wise for the price you're paying. So this one is a bit more refined, but you can use it in a casual situation. This is how you want to smell if you want to smell more refined, more sophisticated at a budget price point. And this one smells a bit leathery. There's a lot of fruity elements to it. This is pretty unisex. And for 1,100, you really can't go wrong with this one. Next is we have Megar from Artemios. This is a dupe of Orto Parisis Megamare. And presentation-wise, you really get the whole package with this one. The wooden cap. The atomizer is pretty decent. Not pressurized, but it's really strong. Scent-wise, this is also very nuclear. So this is one of the nuclear fragrances that are being touted upon or reviewed always, because the DNA is very aquatic. It's musky. It's oceanic. It's really perfect for our climate and temperature. You can use this on your daily errands. You can use this for going to the beach. You can use it for pretty much everything you would imagine. Just go light on the sprays. But if you want to get noticed, 2 to 4 sprays of this is pretty much enough for the whole day. You don't even have to respray with this one. If you want to smell like you're carrying the ocean with you, get Megar by Artemios for 1,300. Last, we have Stranger With You Ice, which is a dupe of Stronger With You Freeze. I think that fragrance is discontinued, and Aalam Al Zaafaran opening its doors to creating an alternative for that fragrance. This one is a pretty good buy, because if you're imagining the DNA of Stronger With You Intensely, an ambery aromatic fragrance, all that lavender and that amber going together and putting citruses, you're getting this one. To my nose, this smells like Born in Roma EDT by Valentino and also Versace Dylan Blue, so those common blue fragrances. But you're adding that backbone of amber and lavender from the Stronger With You DNA. So this one is really perfect for our weather and atmosphere. If you're trying to be a bit more sophisticated and more professional, but also being fresh and light, Stranger With You Ice is a good alternative for Stronger With You Freeze, and is perfect for being a fragrance that you would wear anytime and anywhere. So if you're looking for alternatives for niche and designer fragrances at a budget standpoint, something that really performs and really looks good, Artemios by Aalam Al Zaafaran and Cranford by Aalam Al Zaafaran are really good alternatives. Baidre Perfumes and Shopmixtrade is hosting a giveaway and has all of these products available for sale in our online platforms. So for our giveaway, we're gonna be giving it away in our Facebook groups, Fragrance Clones Philippines. So join the group and follow the mechanics in the page, and stay tuned for more reviews by Baidre Perfumes.